Hello! I almost didn't post a video today because I'm really feeling a bit frustrated today, but here I am, sticking to my plan to do one a day and surrounded by beautiful girls. We have got out. Who's pecking me so hard? It's you, Frida. It was you pecking me. Hey? So cheeky. I've got everybody here. We've got Jen. Where is she? There she is. Yes. Oh, they're so gorgeous. So, whilst the girls are with me, I'm going to chat to you today about why I'm feeling frustrated. Sorry about the shadow. And quite the preening here. The reason is because we can't rescue right now, and it's really frustrating. I mean, this is what we do. We want to rescue hens from battery cages. We want to rescue hens from horrible situations, and right now we can't do it. It's especially difficult because when we see really horrible things happening in the world to animals and to humans, but for me especially to animals, it kind of triggers this feeling of an intense feeling of anger or frustration, and that makes me want to just go out and rescue animals. Hey Jen, she does this. She's scratching on me. So recently we've had the horrible sinking of the live export ship that you probably all heard about. It was almost 6,000 cows from the dairy industry drowned. They were pregnant, they were already in a disgusting situation on this live export ship, and then they had to be, you can just imagine the ship being thrown around in this like tumultuous ocean and the cows being thrown everywhere. Oh, and then the drowning, like it's just hideous. And yet what they were going through already with the dairy industry and where they were going and where they'd come from, like it's all so horrible. They would have had babies taken away time and time again, and they eventually would have been slaughtered. Like it's just so upsetting. And the things that happen to animals every day are so upsetting. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to the feeling of just wanting to do something to help. And I know that I was speaking to a member of my rescue team yesterday, and we were both feeling the same. It's like we miss rescuing, like we want to get more girls out of cages, but we can't do it. And the reason we can't do it is because we don't have the hen haven yet. Look, I'm getting like really dug on here by Jen. This is a very good preening, isn't it? She's so funny. So then today I also I'm getting contacted about roosters left, right and centre. Like, why do people keep hatching roosters when they don't have homes for them? It's not a lovely idea to hatch eggs in suburbia. There's a chance that they're going to be roosters, 50-50 chance. And you're going to be breaking up bonds between hens and roosters. You're going to be dumping them or putting pressure on sanctuaries. It's such a bad idea, and yet I'm getting at least 3 emails or contacts a day about roosters. Today a friend contacted me and had seen that a rooster was dumped in a different McDonald's car park to the one I went to last weekend, and it's quite a way away from me, a bit further away than the last one by at least another hour. And I just don't know what to do. Like, I can't have roosters here. I've already got Cody, as you know. The other thing is, and I have to share the frustration with you, that we're trying to do this work and we're not set up for it properly, and we've somehow managed to struggle through for the last 10 years, but it's really difficult. Like, our neighbours are really close. They're, there and up the back. And when we have new hens, even if they're not roosters, the noise is pretty intense. So you know that we rescued Charlene the other day, and she's only tiny, and it's often that the tiniest hens are the loudest, and she made a real racket. She's a lot quieter now. Usually after a week they've really settled in, but she even only took a couple of days. But what happens is, not only does the hen make a huge amount of noise who's new because she's overwhelmed and there's lots to take in, but everybody else starts going too. So someone like Jen, who's just there, she would start making a load of noise, even though she doesn't usually. And whilst if we were in the hen haven, I would actually be embracing that noise. I would they should be able to make that noise. It's new to them. This is what they should be able to do, isn't it, Jen? Hey, beauty. You got a tail wiggle. But yeah, it stresses me out so much, because I think if we get complaints from the neighbours or complaints to council, we could get evicted. And sooner, and that's really worrying, because of the animals that we've got here, as well as the stress of moving. So that's one reason. And the other thing is not being able to give the animals the space they need. So the most recent times we've rescued ex-battery hens is when we've got homes lined up for them the next day. So for example, we rescued 10 hens and we've got homes for 10 hens who are going to come the next day to adopt. And even if I have nowhere to put them, I can have them in large carriers, give them food and water, give them health checks, and then the people come in the morning and adopt them. Where that goes wrong is if someone cancels, or if there's a health issue with one of the hens, because we don't rehome them if they're unhealthy. We would get them vet checked and treated, or they may even need to be part of our special needs flocks. And that's where we don't have the room. It's also really, really overwhelming to have them all in the living room. Even for one morning, the noise is really out of this world. And as I say, they should be able to make that noise. One of my loveliest times, I had this disastrous renting of land about this time last year, and I was renting some land and building enclosures that were still temporary because it was rented, but it actually ended up with me having to rescue more animals, like Jen, Astrid and Matilda, because the animals on the land were neglected and they weren't protected from predators. So that was really upsetting. The landlord turned out to be a pretty scary kind of guy, and so I decided not to continue that, as I didn't feel safe being there if I had to be there on my own. So it didn't work. But one of the loveliest times in between me starting and realizing it wasn't going to work was sitting in one of the enclosures I built, which was really similar to this kind of thing but bigger. So it had higher wire and netting and everything like that. And I had these 16 hens who'd been liberated, and I just sat there and let them out, and they made as much noise as they wanted. They can really challenge roosters as far as the noise. And I just sat there, and they gained confidence to come and peck at me and things like that. And it was beautiful. And that's what I want in the hen haven, for the animals to be able to make as much noise, and for me not to be running around kind of trying to give them treats and stuff to keep them quiet, or worrying about the neighbours, or going and apologising to the neighbours and stuff. It's really difficult to be contacted so much about animals in need and not be able to help. I didn't know what to do about the rooster today. Could it be another situation like in the McDonald's car park last week, where there's actually a whole flock of them? Or could it be just one rooster? So it's just really frustrating right now. And I'm not sure, I want to stay positive and think, right, we're going to make this hen haven happen. We're a third of the way there almost. But another part of me thinks, okay, there's not really many more donations coming in. It's a really hard time for people right now because of COVID. And is it unrealistic? I know that plenty of other sanctuaries like Where Pigs Fly and recently A Place of Peace and that they've done, and Edgar's Mission, they've done some really big fundraisers. Like Edgar's Mission famously, I think, raised $153,000 in 3 days, which is amazing. So I try and cling on to that if they can do it, we can too. But I realise that even amongst vegans, there can be some speciesism where hens are not prioritised quite as much, and also it's a hard time for people. So, and as I've said before, I don't want to take away what we've achieved, but the fact is we won't have enough for a deposit unless we reach our target. Like, reaching a third of it is amazing, but it won't help us, it won't get us the property. So I really need to think of some different ways to push it. And today, yeah, I'm just feeling like a bit helpless as to what I can do to help animals. There's nowhere else for me to put them. I tried posting about roosters for rehoming on the page, and nobody, not one person, has applied to adopt. We've got the babies at the moment who are being fostered in Clara by Charlotte, and there's one rooster in there, definitely, out of the 3, and so their names are Damon, Macy and Bo, and they didn't get one single inquiry since we've had them. I'm going to try posting about them today, but it just shows you, like, the situation with roosters. It's got to change. That people they just can't keep hatching them. It's so frustrating. I don't know how to get through to people. This is Lucy. Where are you, sweetie? Hi. Oh, she's gorgeous. I just love her beautiful feathers. She's got these black feathers, and then she's got the beautiful orange. Oh, let's see if I can actually get it in the right place. She's looking at herself. Very beautiful, aren't you? Sorry about that. It's a bit all over the place. So yeah, so today is probably not the best video, but I just wanted to do one and just share with you how I'm feeling about it, and hopefully tomorrow I can feel a bit more positive. We also had some issues with Facebook yesterday, which means our posts aren't getting seen, so that makes it difficult to promote as well. As much as I hate social media, we do rely on it for kind of getting the message out there about the hens. So anyway, I really do appreciate you tuning in, and thank you for your support, and I will chat to you tomorrow.